Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and talk about things that are going on, a bit explain what's going on, and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Here we go.
I'm Captain Miles Irwood, Homicide Commander for the San Antonio Police Department. This critical incident video release is intended to provide you with information, as the department currently understands it, about an officer-involved shooting that occurred on September 18th in the 3200 block of West Martin Street. I'll walk you through body-worn camera video relevant to the facts of the incident as we know them so far. Content of this video may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Two officers riding in the same vehicle received a tip from a confidential source that a man who had been robbing stores and who was wanted on several warrants was in the area of West Martin and North Zarzamora Streets. Around 8:50 a.m., they encountered a man on a bike who closely resembled the suspect officers were looking for. Officers observed the man commit a traffic violation as he bicycled against traffic, and they initiated a stop.
What does that matter, bro? You don't have no reason to pull me over.
You're riding your bike the wrong way on the road.
Oh, I just crossed the street, sir.
The suspect refused to provide his full name to officers and began to walk away. The officer went to physically detain the suspect, and the suspect began to resist. The suspect then stated he had a gun and was going to shoot the officer.
I got a gun. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you.
The officer's body camera fell to the ground during the struggle. At this time, the officer's partner exited the patrol vehicle to assist. The following is footage from her body camera. Her body-worn camera captured the suspect throwing his backpack to the ground and reaching for his waistband. The officer then fired his duty weapon, striking the suspect. He was pronounced deceased on scene. This is the moments leading up to the shooting slowed down. The firing officer's partner did not fire her weapon. While the man fit the description of the suspect officers initially sought, the Bexar County medical examiner confirmed that the suspect, identified as 29-year-old Alejandro Vitela, was not that individual. Vitela, however, was wanted on a felony family violence warrant. Officers did not find a firearm on Vitela or in his backpack. Investigations into deadly force are comprehensive and can take over a year. A reminder, this is our current understanding of the situation and could change as investigators gather more information. The San Antonio Police Department does not make any determinations as to whether procedures were followed until all the facts are known. All officer-involved shootings are forwarded to the Bexar County District Attorney's Office for review. As of this publication, the investigation remains ongoing. Observed the man commit a traffic. 8:50 a.m., they encountered a man on a bike who closely resembled the suspect officers were looking for. Officers observed the man commit a traffic violation as he bicycled against traffic, and they initiated a stop.
Alright, so they're out looking for someone, and this dude closely matches the description. And he committed a very minute infraction. I mean, something that, honestly, these officers probably have witnessed other people do it before and just ignored it and went on because they had other shit to do. But this gives them a good legal weight, I guess you could say, to be able to stop this guy. He committed a crime. Now, that law is there for a reason. And although, like I said, I would not be surprised that they've probably witnessed people do the same thing before and just let it go, there are other times where there are other laws that people break in front of officers, and then officers don't do anything about it. You can't catch every fish in the river, right? Like, some are going to get loose, some are going to get by. Sometimes you just don't have time to stop and hit every single thing. Like, you could literally get on a road and not even make it 2 blocks for an hour because you could find little shit to fucking peg people on. So some things do go to the wayside, I guess. You know, some things get overlooked. And this guy's probably done it multiple times before in front of another officer, and then probably built up this confidence in him, like, oh, well, I guess they don't give a shit. I guess I can do this kind of thing. But he did commit a crime, and that was justification for them to stop him and deal with him. This guy, of course, is uncooperative, and we know now why he had a warrant out for his arrest. So this guy knew, most likely, he had a warrant, and that he would be going to jail. He didn't want to go to jail. Nobody wants to go to jail. So he was uncooperative. He thought he was going to get out of this.
Bro, you don't have no reason to pull me over.
You were riding your bike the wrong way on the road.
Oh, I just crossed the street, sir.
The suspect refused to provide his full name to officers and began to walk away. The officer went to physically detain the suspect, and the suspect began to resist. The suspect then stated he had a gun and was going to shoot the officer.
I got a gun. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you.
So I'd say this officer most likely had a magnetic mount for his camera. Magnetic mounts suck. I hate the damn things. I think they're the most worthless piece of fucking junk there is. Just the minimalist amount of scuffle and the damn cameras go flying off. I do not advocate for magnetic mounts in any way at all. Personally, I think that the best way to have the camera mounted on is to have a tab sewn on to the uniform so that you can clip it on there, or the other option is Axon does make a mount that you basically have holes made into the shirt, and it basically sandwiches in between it. But it's more of a permanent hold than the magnetic sandwiching kind of locking. Those are probably the only two good options, I think, as far as going on to the uniform shirt. Other than that, if you got a vest and you got some type of molly or pals webbing or whatever, then of course the locking mechanism on there through the webbing would be the best way to go. The magnetic mounts, they're just trash. So he loses his camera.
The officer's body camera fell to the ground during the struggle. At this time, the officer's partner exited the patrol vehicle, captured the suspect, throwing his backpack to the ground and reaching for his waistband. The officer then fired his duty weapon, striking the suspect. He was pronounced deceased on scene.
So this guy has said that he has a gun, and he is reaching towards his waistband as if he has a gun. If you're going to make the threat,
He was pronounced deceased on scene.
that you have a gun, and then you start reaching towards your waistband like you got one, then you should probably expect to be shot. It would not be necessary for the officer to wait for this guy to pull a gun out. If the officer had waited for this guy to pull a gun out, well, then the officer would already be behind the curve at that point. This guy would be able to produce it, point it, and fire before the officer could return fire. Action generally beats reaction. If we hold our hand, if I were standing right in front of you and I held my hands out side by side, palms facing down, and you took your hands and did the same, but had your palms facing my palms, and I told you to try and move your hands and smack the top of my hands really quick, you would most likely be able to smack my hands before I could jerk my hands away to prevent you from doing that. Because you're the one initiating action. I have to observe the fact that you are now moving. I'm somewhat orientated. Then I have to make that decision to jerk my hands back. And even right there, standing in front of you, knowing that you're about to slap my hands, I sometimes will not be able to jerk my hands back fast enough to prevent you from hitting me. It's just simple as that. Action generally beats reaction. So it would not have been a good idea for this officer to wait for this guy to pull a gun out. This guy has already made a threat. He's got a gun. He said he's going to shoot the officer. I would say this officer probably had a legitimate fear that this dude was going to shoot him. And so he used deadly physical force to protect himself. So there's nothing wrong with this. On the officer's part. It's wrong on this dude's part to make that stupid-ass threat. Like, what the fuck was he thinking? Like, did he think that this was going to cause the officer to back away and give him time to run and get away? Like, this guy was completely fucking stupid to do that. And I don't think this was a suicide by police kind of thing at all. I think this was he's trying to scare this officer, gain distance, and get away. That's what I think this guy's mindset was. And it was a totally fucked mindset. To tell a person who has a gun, hey, I'm going to shoot you. Like, what do you think's going to happen? They're just going to be like, oh my God, he threatened to shoot me. I'm going to back away and go cower behind this car. Oh my God. No. Chances are, they're going to fucking shoot you. It amazes me that people like this have made it to adulthood without accidentally murdering themselves along the way. Millions of years of evolution. And this guy is presumably the cream of the crop of his gene line. His bloodline. I don't know if you can call that evolution or not. It's more like a de-evolution. So this guy brought this shit upon himself, 100%. You threaten someone and tell them you're going to shoot them and then act like you're reaching for a gun, chances are you're going to get shot. Not much else to say about this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.